Good morning and welcome to the 2023 Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball State Tournament here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and at Rosa-Oglietti Park as we get you set for Game 1 this morning between Greater Pittston of Region 5 and Quakertown of Region 2. Alongside Roger Downs, Jack Ridenauer here with you. And Roger, we are very excited to bring all of the action this week on WSN here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and more importantly, a nice early start this morning at 10:15.
Indeed, Jack. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it is morning, 10:15 in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and we welcome you to the Westmoreland Sports Network for today's broadcast of 2023 American Legion Baseball Championships in the state of Pennsylvania.
We'll take a look at the batting lineup for Greater Pittston as the visiting team here in Game 1. Leading off the shortstop, Jeremy Cawley, followed by the second baseman, Jack Mathis. Batting third, the pitcher, Hunter Lowall. Batting fourth, the center fielder, Kyle Skutak. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Anthony Sensetti. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Vinny Bonomo. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Aiden Mihal. Batting eighth, the catcher, Cameron Moser. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Nick Cherisaro. Again, that is Cawley, Mathis, Lowall, Skutak, Sensetti, Bonomo, Mihal, Moser, and Cherisaro.
Number 5.
Defensively for the Blue Jays of Quakertown. Number 24, Vinny Pellegrini on the mound. Brandon Pierce behind the plate. Ethan Bile is at first base. Caleb Everett is at second base. Ty Everett is at third base. The shortstop is Danny Qualteria. Braden Schuler is in left. Tommy Kozlowski is in center. Cole Reich is the right fielder.
And we are underway with first pitch coming in at 10:10 Eastern Standard Time. Count evens at 1-1. Looking at Vinny Pellegrini's numbers on the mound this Legion season, 3-0 record and 25 2/3 innings pitched with a 3 ERA. Has a fantastic strikeout to walk ratio, as he's struck out 33 batters this season, walking only 6. And it's going to be paramount that he tries to eliminate Cawley here as the leadoff out.
Yeah, Cawley's going to attend Bloomsburg University, the Huskies.
2-1. Just misses. So 3-ball, 1-strike count on Jeremy Cawley, the leadoff batter, trying to get on base to start this one off.
We'll send a shout out to his parents, Brian and Donna.
3-1. Looped up but out of play. Full count on Cawley. Taking a look at Greater Pittston and where they are located. They're located about 3 hours and 48 minutes from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, in Pittston, Pennsylvania, just north of Allentown, Pennsylvania, 2 hours actually from Philadelphia. Payoff pitch. And Cawley stays alive. Roger, we mention it all the time, how important it is for leadoff batters to get on base and try to be that first runner on.
Yeah, well, right now, Cawley's doing a good job letting his teammates in the dugout take a look at Pellegrini, his delivery, his motion.
Not to mention, he's also increasing that pitch count, which I know you and I will talk about ad nauseum probably throughout today.
Indeed. But he's doing a really fine job as the leadoff batter here this morning for Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball.
Out to right. Reich comes in, as well as Everett, the second baseman, and it's Cole Reich that pulls down the first out here in the top of the first.
Nice job there by Cole Reich. The thing is, he has a better angle coming in on that baseball, Jack. Did a fine job. There was communication between the outfield and the infield. Well done, Quakertown.
Jack Mathis comes to the plate, a .311 batter. 9 RBIs on the season.
Jack is going to attend East Stroudsburg State University. He's going to be a Warrior there.
1-0. Hit hard out to right. Right going back, having to turn, and he makes the catch. Great tracking by Cole Reich out in right, and it's 2 up, 2 down early for Greater Pittston.
key to that play,
Batting third,
Jack Ridenauer,
number 20,
is he did not take any
Hunter
steps in.
Lowe.
If he would have taken a step or two in, that ball would have sailed over his head to the warning track. Nice job defensively, again, by Wright in right field.
I'm glad you clarified which Jack you were talking to, Roger.
Yep.
Hunter Lowell, the new batter, starting pitcher for Greater Pittston. Lowell on the season, a .353 batter. Has 51 at-bats and actually leads the team second in the team in RBIs with 20. Misses inside.
Hunter attends William University. His future plans are to join the workforce. He's majoring in civil engineering.
1-1. Count goes 2 balls, 1 strike in favor of Hunter Lowell.
Lowell will be the mound opponent for Pellegrini today.
Trying to avoid being the third and final out of the top of the first. Try to extend this inning. 2-1. Count evens. Looking at Greater Pittston's season, their overall record coming into the state tournament, 16-4. Just coming out of the regional championship. It's their 5th regional appearance in the last 10 years. Just misses low. And another full count worked, and it's Hunter Lowell that tries to win this battle after his teammate Jeremy Cawley lost the 3-2 battle in the first at-bat.
Well, some good at-bats here early in the top of inning number 1.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Down goes Lowell for the 3rd and final out. So a great start on the mound for Vinny Pellegrini, and the Quakertown defense will keep it in with you all here at Rosa-Oglietti Park. Again, thanks so much for joining us on an early Monday morning, wherever you might be joining from. We'll go and look at Quakertown's batting lineup. Leading things off for Quakertown, the shortstop, Danny Colteria. Batting second, the right fielder, Cole Reich. Batting third, the catcher, Brandon Pierce. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Ethan Bile. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Ty Everett. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Peyton Myers. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Caleb Everett. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Braden Schuler. Batting ninth, the center fielder, Tommy Kozlowski. And batting 10th, the pitcher, Vinny Pellegrini. Again, that is Colteria, Reich, Pierce, Bile, Everett, Myers, Everett, Schuler, Kozlowski, and Pellegrini.
Number 3, Nick Saracero. In center field, number 1, Kyle
We'll take a look at the defensive alignment, Roger.
And in right field, number
defensively
18,
for Greater Pittston,
Vinny Bonomo.
As we mentioned, Hunter Lowell on the mound, Cameron Mosier behind the plate, Aiden Mihal is at first base, Jack Mathis is at second, Anthony Sansetti is at third, Jeremy Cowley is the shortstop, Nick Cherisaro is in left field, Kyle Skutak is the center fielder, Vinny Bonomo is the right fielder.
So it was a quick 1-2-3 inning for Quakertown defensively. We'll see how they fare offensively up against this Pittston team. And again, this Pittston team comes in with a heavy record of 16-4, but looking over at Quakertown, they come in with an even bigger record at an overall 20-5 record. They were 12-2 during the regular season, but what an impressive year it's been for this Quakertown team.
Well, you know what, Jack, if you look at the record of Quakertown year after year after year, they do extremely well, not only in the regular season, but also in the postseason. Again, on behalf of the Westmoreland Sports Network, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in here to today's broadcast. All of our broadcasts are archived shortly after their conclusion for you to view back at your convenience.
So we always have our broadcasts not too far away for you at home to watch back at your leisure. First pitch comes in, called strike to the leadoff batter, Colteria.
Colteria batting from the left side.
Next pitch misses. Taking a look at Hunter Lowell's numbers on the mound, a 1.62 ERA in 21 2/3 innings pitched. As that bounces foul, has a 3-1 record. It's 21 strikeouts, but he has walked 15 batters, which is the most on this pitching staff for Greater Pittston, so might be something to pay attention to for Quakertown.
Indeed, Jack. They're a good team. Let's watch the pitch count.
Count evens at 2-2. And again, Roger, I know I mentioned the top of the first, and we'll probably mention it all day long, just running up these pitch counts and extending these at-bats. Big swing and miss as Quakertown retired for the leadoff out.
Yeah, Quakertown going down there on strikes, attends Quakertown Community High School.
Batting second, playing right
Brings Cole
field.
Reich to the plate, who
Number
was
8,
very busy in the top of the first with a couple outs over in right field.
Yeah, did a really nice job. Really impressed early with his defensive efforts.
Gets past Lowell. Mathis, 2 down. So after the grounder sneaks past Lowell, Jack Mathis retires right for the second out, and Brandon Pierce tries to avoid the 1-2-3.
Batting third and catching, number 12, Brandon Pierce.
Pierce on the season batting .411 with 15 RBIs. He has been a force to say the least. 23 for 56 from the plate this season. Another grounder, Mathis, and it's in time. So a nice tidy 1-2-3 after Greater Pittston gets it. Quakertown does the same exact thing. We move into the second inning. No score here at Rosa-Oglietti Park and on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
We tried to. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's go. How are you doing? How are you today? What's up? You were just like, that sound all right, Dan? Sound all right on your end, that's volume wise? Then you'd like to sportsmanship. Yeah, Matt! And then the next one. Be careful. Chat maybe a little bit. You can take breaks. So no commercial. You can one of the umpires, most likely you will bring it back and we'll just chill. I'll be alert to when they're doing the bench. I'll just walk out.
Back here on the Westmoreland Sports Network for Game 1 of the Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball State Tournament. Not only Game 1, but Day 1. Roger Downs, Jack Ridenauer here with you. And Roger, I have to say we have been very impressed so far. I know you and I were talking a little bit off air about how well the pitching has been so far, but really I think for both of these teams it's been, I don't want to say a struggle pitching-wise, but more so a struggle trying to get guys and enough days rest. And I know that you know and we know quite a bit about, the pitch count and so on and so forth, and how that could be something that will be paid very close attention to today for really both teams.
Yeah, what we also have to be aware of, Jack, it is early morning here in western Pennsylvania, and throughout the day, temperatures are only going to rise. So everyone in attendance, or even wherever you are watching today's broadcast, please stay hydrated. Coaches, please keep an eye on your catchers and all of your players, in particularly the young men behind the plate, doing a very, very tough job on a hot, humid morning.
There's a good point you bring up, being that early morning game on Day 1, as Kyle Skutek steps in. Skutek is going to be attending St. Joseph's University.
Yes, he is going to major in physical therapy.
He's going to try and walk on to the baseball team as well. This Greater Pittston team is covered with baseball commits up and down the roster. We actually have a couple that you mentioned, Roger, East Stroudsburg University commits, and we know a little bit about East Stroudsburg with our dealings with Seton Hill.
Indeed.
In the PSAC, and you can also go watch all of our Seton Hill broadcasts back on WestmorelandSports.com. So that's fouled out of play for strike 2.
Well, Jack, right now with the final 8 teams in the Pennsylvania State American Legion Championships, there are a plethora of good players about, and we're going to be probably saying a lot of what we've already mentioned again and again and again.
That's hit well out to right
It's in the
center.
gap.
Kozlowski gets underneath, and it's one down here in the top of the second. 4 straight retired for Vinny Pellegrini.
Well, right now he has been effective
Batting fifth,
and
playing
efficient
third
with
base.
his pitches.
Number 7.
Third flyout he's
Anthony
registered. Only has 1
Sensetti.
strikeout, but again, it's not necessarily how you get outs. It's just a matter of if you get outs.
Yeah, Sensetti coming to the plate, attends Wilkes University, or Will. He's going to major in mechanical engineering.
Batting .320 this season. It's just 5 RBIs. 1-0. Count evens.
I want to thank all the young men on all the rosters that will be participating here in Latrobe this week for completing and filling out their biographical information.
Bile over to Pellegrini, a race to first, and it's won by the Quakertown pitcher, Vinny Pellegrini, and now 5 straight batters retired for the righty.
Nice job there, PFP, pitcher fielding practice, well done by the infield of the Blue Jays.
Vinny Bonomo.
Pellegrini not wasting any time, heading right over on the ball, hit to the right side of the infield.
Vinny Bonomo, the new batter, getting the start in right field today for Greater Pittston.
Bonomo's going to attend the University of Scranton. Every time I think of Scranton, Jack, I think of our good friends at Dunder Mifflin.
Absolutely. Michael Scott. I wonder if Michael Scott is joining us today.
No, you never know.
Count evens on Bonomo. Batting .238 this season. 10 for 42 from the plate in total for Bonomo on the year.
He's going to major in kinesiology.
1-1. Just misses outside. Count goes in favor of Bonomo. 2 balls, 1 strike. He's one of the many Pittston area high school players on this team.
Yes.
Team that covers really Pittston area high school, Scranton Prep, and Wyoming area.
The Pittston area Patriots. Scranton Prep Cavaliers, Wyoming area Warriors.
3 balls, 1 strike on Bonomo. Trying to avoid another 1-2-3 inning. Pellegrini looking for another 1-2-3. 3-1. Another full count worked, and just seems every time Pellegrini might be giving up an at-bat or might be giving up a base runner, he fights his way back into the at-bat.
Yeah, he certainly does. It's a very solid motion, not a lot of wasted motion at all by the big right-hander.
Payoff pitch. Weakly hit in the air. Bile takes care of it. 6 straight retired for Vinny Pellegrini, as Greater Pittston still looking for their first base runner of the contest. We move to the bottom of the second to see if Quakertown can get some runs on the board, right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Yes. Girls soccer? Yes. We have a young lady on the team. Oh. Michaela Moore. Yeah, we do men's and women's soccer, men's and women's lacrosse, basketball, baseball, softball. We do it all. I want to watch Michaela play, so I have a link now. That's good. 29 for 2, that's good. You finished the game. One bad inning, I said, well, we learned something over the time. You're right. She does sports with the clock. She likes it when it gets That's beautiful. Roger, you want to jump back on? Even though we have 3 boys who are on sport. Yeah.
Leading off for Quakertown will be first baseman number 11, Ethan
We move into the bottom of the second here at Rosa-Oglietti Park in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. No score between Quakertown and Greater Pittston. Ethan Bile leads things off for Quakertown.
Ethan Bile is a mechanical engineering major at Penn State University. He'll be entering his second year.
If I'm not mistaken, Penn State has a top-notch engineering program from what I hear.
In every aspect of engineering, they do indeed, Jack.
Looking at Biles' numbers during the Legion season, a 286 hitter. Appeal to first, did not go around, so the count goes in favor of Bile, 2 balls, 1 strike. He has 17 RBIs, which is good for second on the team, right behind his teammate Ty Everett. Big cut, well behind it, count evens on Bile. So we are really treated so far with a pitcher's duel between Pittston as well as Quakertown.
I was just going to say that very thing, Jack.
Swing and a miss right on cue as Bile sat down for the first out of the bottom of the second.
Yeah, Bile took 3 really healthy hacks at those pitches, almost overswinging a bit.
Base. Number 3, Ty Everett.
Ty Everett comes to the plate.
Ty Everett, nickname is Tiger. Graduated from Quakertown High School, attends Washington College. He likes to fish.
Well, this is definitely perfect fishing weather today. Might get a little humid, but
You could stop by near Keystone State Park, cast a line or two.
has a brother on the team, Caleb Everett. Batting .359 this year. Shows good patience at the plate.
4 umpires here today, Jack, and that's great for the young men. Hopefully the men in blue look out.
And that hits Ty Everett. So our first base runner of the contest reaches base off a hit by pitch.
Yeah, one of those freebies a lot of the coaches talk about.
Batting 6.
Walks,
Designated
hit by
hitter,
pitch.
Number 21, Peyton
Myers.
Myers.
Myers comes to the plate.
Peyton Myers attends Bob Jones University, civil engineering major.
Move back to first and Everett back safely. 1 out in the bottom of the second. And again, Ty Everett over at first is the first base runner to reach a board so far today. Goes foul. Looking at Peyton Myers' numbers, he's a .370 hitter on the year. 17 for 46 from the plate with 9 RBIs. It's a very widespread offensive attack for this Quakertown team. And that clips him. So first Everett and then Myers gets hit. So after Hunter Lowell retired 4 consecutive batters, he hits back-to-back batters, and now head coach Steve Homza comes out to share his displeasure, but will not be heard. So that puts now runners at first and second for Quakertown.
Number 44, Caleb Everett.
Now that brings Ty Everett's brother Caleb Everett to the plate. And that was a foul ball. It sounded like it might have hit some sort of protection on Caleb Everett, but not the case. Actually hits his bat, so strike 1 on Caleb Everett. Lowell needs to regather himself, try to focus on this at-bat.
Look out.
That comes behind him again. Count evens, but the control from Hunter Lowell has seemingly vanished. And a mound visit comes in to try and settle down the hurler. Not to mention, Roger, you mentioned the aspect of early morning, but let's face it, there's a lot of pressure on the line. This is the state tournament. It's this part of the season that all players in Legion Baseball hope to reach and hope to get to. So I'm sure there's a little bit of nerves, some jitters that might become a factor.
Well, Jack, and you also got to keep in mind that maybe for the first time ever, some of these young men were sleeping in a strange bed last evening, staying in their respective hotels.
Absolutely, not to mention a long journey. Quakertown's about 4.5 hours from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, so a long drive for them. See if the Blue Jays can capitalize here. And that clips Caleb Everett. So 3 straight batters hit by a pitch to load the bases for Braden Schuler with just 1 out in the bottom of the second.
I'll tell you
Batting
what.
8, playing left field, number 1, Braden Schuler.
And the point I'm going to make, Jack, it's just amazing. Infield is in on the corners at first and third. Second and short at double play depth. They're going to try to get an out.
Well, they need one, especially after Ethan Bile was retired as the leadoff out. Slow roller, off the glove of Lowell, and it is in time at first, but the run comes across from third and Ty Everett, and Quakertown jumps up early 1-0.
Yeah, nice job there by Braden Schuler. Going to attend Penn State, Altoona, putting the ball in play. When you put the ball in play, good things happen.
Batting 9.
So it moves runners up.
Center field,
Caleb Everett
number
at second,
27, Tommy
and Peyton Myers over at third. New batter in Tommy Kozlowski comes to the plate, getting the start in center field today for Quakertown. 2 down in the bottom of the second. Quakertown has struck first, leading 1-0.
Kozlowski attends Eastern University. Tommy Koz is what he goes by as far as his nickname.
1-1. Count goes in favor of Kozlowski. Batting .213 this season, just 5 RBIs, but could very well get up his 6th, maybe even 7th, if he can drive in Myers and Caleb Everett.
Yeah, 2 runners in scoring position for the Blue Jays.
Cuts through the offering to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now Hunter Lowell trying to get out of this inning after loading the bases, already 1 run coming across. 2-2. Full count.
It's a full count. It's not been a great inning now for Lowell. Top of the order on deck, Danny Qualteria.
Payoff pitch. Lifted to center. Skutek. Third and final out recorded, but 1 run does come across as Quakertown gets on the board here first in Game 1 of the Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball State Tournament here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. When we come back, we'll see if Greater Pittston can counteract right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Folks, if you're hungry for something not as heavy as lunch, can I recommend the apple pie logs in the concession stand? They are just as good as Grandma's homemade apple pie. They have a nice icing on top of them. They'd go great with a cup of coffee. So make sure you stop up at the concession stand today.
Here we go, gentlemen.
We move into the third inning. Quakertown leading 1-0 as Greater Pittston looks to try and counteract that 1 low run coming across in the bottom of the second. Aiden Mihal, the first baseman for Greater Pittston, gets things started.
Aiden Mihal attends King's College. His future plans include joining the United States Air Force and dealing in cybersecurity. And we wish him well with his military plans and service, and we also thank you.
Yes, definitely thank Mr. Mihal for his military service. 1-1, out of play. Mihal this year with a .350 average, 7 of 20 from the plate, so hasn't had a ton of time at the dish, but still very productive to say the least when his number is called. 1-2, big swing and miss. Mihal is retired after Pierce throws down to first, but Roger, that was just the most vanishing pitch I've ever seen from a pitcher. Pellegrini just pulls the string from Mihal.
Oh, absolutely.
Now
Pellegrini.
batting the catcher, number 21.
Right now, his
Cameron
right arm is flowing
Moser.
like a cool drink of water.
And the cool drink of
Pellegrini.
water, definitely very helpful on a warm, sunny day like today. New batter in Cameron Moser.
Moser's going to attend East Stroudsburg University, majoring in sports management.
Caleb Everett. Nice play at second. 2 up, 2 down, and now the 8th straight batter retired by Vinny Pellegrini.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty crisp
Now
fielding so
batting,
far early in this
left
game,
fielder,
Jack.
number 3.
Very strong
Nick
fielding, and
Chercel.
especially with this field at Rosa-Oglietti Park can sometimes give you some weird kicks every now and again with pebbles and rocks, but the crew here today really did a wonderful job putting it together on, a lot of people coming, a lot of hours put into this field, and looks absolutely beautiful for day 1 and game 1 of the state tournament. New batter in Nick Cherisaro.
Cherisaro attends Ursinus. He's been majors in neuroscience. Would like to attend med school and become a doctor. Always great to find folks that want to give back to others.
Ursinus College, if I'm not mistaken, is the Bears. I think they are in I think it's Collegeville, Pennsylvania. 2 balls, 1 strike on Cherisaro.
I don't know why this bounced to my head. Collegeville, that reminded some of my youth about Halloween costumes or something there out around that way. Manufacturer.
Big swing and miss by Cherisaro. Count evens at 2-2.
We've seen some awfully huge swings, Jack.
They have been fooled by Pellegrini. We'll see if he can use some of his magic here on the 2-2. Just misses. Full count. And even though there's been a lot of swing and misses, this Greater Pittston team, they have shown some good patience as well.
And right now, for both teams, defense has been very crisp.
Big swing and miss. Down goes Cherisaro. 9 up, 9 down. Vinny Pellegrini says, you're not going to reach first that easily. We move into the bottom of the 3rd. Quakertown still up 1-0. We'll see if they can extend it right here and only on WSN.
Quakertown. Yeah.
I mean, no. Did they like put something on there that you know? I guess.
Yeah, he is. Not today. No? Oh, I haven't been aware. I haven't batted enough. No, they were playing for the oh, that's right. Duh. All right.
Guys, come on, we gotta put on your base one. Let's go. Get more. Need more.
Back here on Westmoreland Sports Network for the bottom of the 3rd and game 1 of
Leading
the
off
Pennsylvania
for
American
Quakertown,
Legion Baseball
number
State
23,
Tournament.
Danny
As it's Danny
Qualiteria.
Qualiteria that leads things off for Quakertown. They carry a 1-0 lead into this bottom frame.
Known to his teammates as Danny Donut Danny.
Always been fascinated with how nicknames come about and where they originate. There's always some fun story behind it. Falls down in a no balls 2 strike hole as Hunter Lowell trying to regather himself and maybe reach back into some of his first inning bag that he was able to put together a 1-2-3 inning after seemingly unraveling in the second with 3 straight hit by pitches.
But to his credit, Lowell only permitting 1 run with a number of runners left on base. So that's a plus for the Greater Pittston defense.
1-2. Count evens.
Again, we thank everyone for tuning in to today's video broadcast on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Misses high. Full count worked on the leadoff batter as Lowell trying to retire the leadoff batter for the 3rd straight inning and give him some traction. Hit hard but foul down the third base line. Looking at Lowell's numbers this year, he has struggled with the command at times with 15 walks. So those hit by pitches, not necessarily a strange phenomenon for the righty. Payoff pitch, again fouled out of play.
Another good at bat by the Blue Jay hitters here in the bottom of inning number 3 at Rosa-Oglietti Park.
Ball 4. Quakertown wins the battle and heads down to first, and for the first time today, a leadoff batter getting on base.
Now batting number 8, Cole Wright.
Cole Wright comes to the plate.
Cole Wright, let's see if we're going to try to see someone steal a base or lay down a sacrifice bunt to try to extend the Blue Jay lead.
And off goes Quakertown, the throw by Moser late. And a runner in scoring position for Quakertown. So they might start to try and carry some of that momentum from the bottom of the second over into the bottom of the third.
Well, anytime you get that leadoff runner on an inning, Jack, you got to take advantage of it, cash it in, and add to the lead, in this case for Quakertown.
Count evens on Reich as the first pitch was a ball to the righty.
Brandon Pierce is on deck.
Quakertown's coming off their 2nd regional championship. They won last in 2016. They compete in the Bucksmont American Legion Baseball League. 1-1. Called strike.
Good pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Reich trying to drive in this second run and give Quakertown some room. Grounded out back in the first inning. Over to Jack Mathis at second. 1-2. Good block by Moser, making sure that Quakertown stays put at second.
Yeah, you cannot put a price tag on a good defensive catcher and a good defensive first baseman.
2-2. Full count worked as Cole Reich showing some patience, trying to win this battle, get on base, and keep that donut hole of outs on the scoreboard. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Down goes Reich as Hunter Lowell getting the much-needed strikeout for the first out of the bottom of the third.
Now batting number 12, Brandon Pierce.
Brandon Pierce comes to the plate to try and drive in his teammate Danny Quakertown, waiting anxiously over at second to be driven in.
Brandon Pierce, the big B.
That was good, Roger. I like that. That was reaching real far down for that one. It was good, especially on a Monday morning. 0-1. Count evens. Pierce was also a ground out victim back in the first. Grounded out over to Jack Mathis at second. He had a lot of action in that bottom first frame. 1-1. Little looper right to Mathis. Takes care of it for the second out, so Lowell getting some help from his defense behind him.
Pitcher's best friend is a solid
Now
defense.
batting number 11, Ethan
Bile comes to the plate.
We go from the big B to E, as he is called.
No big E, just E?
Just E.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to clarify. Another Another pitch that runs awfully inside, and Roger, we've seen that a lot with Lowell against righties so far.
Well, he's hit 3 so far as well.
And everything seems to be inside. He's really trying to jam them up, but in all honesty, that might be the wheelhouse for these righties to try and drive it out into left field.
Well, they don't seem... The inside pitchers are bothering. They're going to help their team out any way they can. Hit by pitch, walk, they'll take it, put runners on base, put the pressure on the defense.
2-1. Quakertown takes off. Moser throws the third in time. What a strike from behind the dish. Cameron Moser with an absolute flamethrower down the line for the third and final out, and erases Danny Quakertown, who got on base as the lead-off out. Wow, what a play.
Great toss there.
So Quakertown, after being the leadoff runner to get aboard, he's thrown out for the third and final out. Again, Lowell's defense stepping up big for him, and we'll see if Vinny Pellegrini can keep retiring batters left and right. We'll take a break. When we come back. 1-0 Quakertown right here on WSN.
Come on, gentlemen, have a batter ready. Shoot me out of boy.
You want me to say anything?
Come down, Chair. Let's go, let's hit. Let's go, start us up, JC. Come down, Chair.
Yeah.
Leading off the top of the fourth for Pittston, number 5, Jeremy Cawley.
Jeremy Cawley gets things started for Greater Pittston as we move to the fourth. 1-0 Quakertown leads. And Roger, I believe you were telling me there's a way that fans can actually get in touch with us while we're on air.
Right after this pitch, Jack.
The anticipation is killing me. Cawley squares, goes foul for strike 1.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning into today's broadcast, in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you will see a little envelope. You can click on that envelope, follow the instructions, and that email will come to our producer, Dan, tucked away in the production room here at Rosa-Oglietti Park, and he will pass it on to us, and we will gladly read it on the air. No balls, 2 strikes now to Cawley. Let us know maybe where you're viewing from, who you're cheering for, but we would love to hear from you.
Time is called by Cawley. If you have even some jokes, some fun facts about the various towns that these teams are coming from, please do share. We will share on air. 0-2.
And I think it's wonderful, Jack, that here in Westmoreland County, Jason Bush, who's kind of arranged this whole state tournament here in Western PA, got a hold of us.
Slow roller. Pellegrini flips, and not in time! There goes the no-hitter and the perfect game that Pellegrini had, as it's an infield single by Jeremy Cawley, a little sidewinder that somehow does not spin foul.
Yeah, right down the line, fielded the ball, base runner, Cawley went right by him, then a tough throw with the base runner bearing down on the first baseman.
Now batting,
And our pitch
number
counter
8,
here,
Jack
Ross,
Mathis.
is not going to retire because there's now a hit in the game.
Jack Mathis, the new batter. Quakertown flips to Everett. The throw to first, in time! And just like that, after the no-hitter is evaporated, the double play comes into effect for Quakertown.
Yeah, No taking of pitches right there. Jack Mathis jumping on that offering.
Next up, number 20.
Hunter Lowell comes to the plate for a pitcher v. pitcher battle. But talk about great defense. And to your earlier point, Roger, great pitching is always helped by great defense.
Pitch to contact. Trust your teammates.
A beautifully fielded double play by the middle infielders, Caleb Everett at second and Danny Colteria at short. Lowell was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Trying to avoid that same fate in a no balls, 2 strike count. Just misses high. Another good spot for Pellegrini to miss. If he's missed, Roger, he has not missed by much. 1-2. Foul tipped. Lowell
That's
stays
off to
alive.
the right side. Hunter Lowell's a fan of wings. That seems to be a very popular dish amongst the majority of the ball players.
I could always go for some wings, Roger.
You have a favorite sauce there, Jack?
I'm a big fan of just anything that's somewhat creative and that's not barbecue, buffalo, or garlic parm. I just want some creativity.
I like sweet and hot myself.
That's
little mixture.
I like that. That's getting creative. 1-2. Count evens.
In my youth, I enjoyed hot things, Jack, but no longer. Kyle Skutak on deck. Hunter Lowell struck out at his first at bat. That's
Liner that goes just foul. Oh, just on the outside of the left field line. Talk about a millimeter miss of being fair.
It's been a very, very competitive game to this juncture, Jack.
Absolutely.
Greater Pittston and
I think much expected because of the point of the season we're in with the state tournament.
Quakertown.
2-2. Full count.
Close pitch there again.
Pellegrini has been phenomenal all year long, keeping runners off base on the free pass. Only 6 walks on the season. Payoff pitch. Just misses for ball 4. So now the second base runner to get on base this inning after Pellegrini retired 9 straight and sends Kyle Skutak to the plate.
Now
Big
number
right
1,
now
Kyle
is that double play
Skutak.
loom with only a single base runner on at first base.
Yes, that double play definitely helps out tremendously because could very well be runners at first and second with no outs. Skutak swings and misses, nearly out of his shoes. Lowell also dancing over at first, so Brandon Pierce behind the dish will have to keep a watchful eye over at first. 0-1.
Scoot likes chicken parm.
1-1. Misses. 2 balls, 1 strike on the lefty. Batting .283 this season. Has 11 RBIs. Trying to extend this inning with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. 2-1. Great patience at the dish by the center fielder. Works a 3-ball, 1 strike count, and again, after Pellegrini looked perfect really through the first 3 innings, starting to maybe feel some fatigue here in the 4th.
Third baseman Anthony Sensetti on deck.
Ball 4. Lowell trots up to second, and Skutak takes first. So 2 men on for Anthony Sensetti and 2 down at the top of the 4th.
Now batting
We're
number
going to have a
7,
timeout.
Anthony.
Catcher's going to take a walk
Sensetti.
out, try to settle down his pitcher just a bit. Now with runners on first and second, 2 down in the inning.
Some really great patience at the dish by Skutak, and I mean, even going back to Hunter Lowell's walk, he also showed great patience. So maybe this Greater Pittston lineup is starting to figure out Vinny Pellegrini and trying to find some sort of crack in the dam. 2 outs at the top of the 4th. Pellegrini trying to get out of the inning with no runs being scored.
Send a shout out to Anthony's family back home, in particular his parents, Joe and Melissa.
Yes, it was fun to hear, and not hear, but read the bios of all the different players.
Yeah, and they took the time out to complete those forms. And again, we thank all the young men for doing that and the coaches for permitting them to do that.
Good block by Pierce. Smother that ball, make sure that Lowell does not take off for third, and also a good job by him to try and come out and settle down his hurler and let him know. And I actually was catching up on our crowd mic before we came into the top of the 4th. Pierce was telling Pellegrini, hey, throw strikes, throw strikes. So you could tell that he wanted his pitcher to stay locked in despite a perfect game that he had going into this inning.
Yeah, going back to my coaching days, Jack, I hated when somebody from the dugout or the spectators would yell, "Would you please throw strikes?" He knows he's not. He understands it. Do not add the pressure to him.
Another good miss.
Big deep breath there from Pellegrini.
Cincetti trying to keep this inning going and possibly score Lowell. That's at second. 2-1. Another low miss. With these low misses, Pierce again having to really be on his tiptoes and making sure that nothing gets past him.
Pellegrini's taking a great amount of time between pitchers right now, Jack. Hopefully he's okay physically.
Three-one. Called strike. So Pellegrini saying not so fast, Mr. Cincetti. This at-bat's still going.
Yeah, young batters may be tuning into this. Please stay in the batter's box till the umpire makes the call.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Cincetti. Pellegrini trying to get out of the inning. Ball 4. Bases loaded for Greater Pittston with 2 outs. And what a change of events in this top of the 4th after Vinny Pellegrini came into the inning perfect.
See if we're going to have a change here, Jack, possibly.
Looks to be, Roger, a change.
It's like
Troy Davis.
Yes, number 0.
Now batting, number 0, Troy Davis.
Troy's going to attend East Stroudsburg University.
So an early, I guess not really early since we are in the top of the 4th. We've been moving at a fantastic pace, but Greater Pittston going to their bench.
Send out a shout out to Troy's mom, Lori.
Take strike 1, but
what a huge sigh of relief from Pellegrini on that one. Bit of a late call from our home plate umpire. Pellegrini was like eager anticipation. What is it going to be?
it was a good idea by Davis also to take a strike since Pellegrini has lost the strike zone.
Indeed.
0-1. Lowell at third, Skutak at second, and Cincetti at first. All reached on walks after Cawley led the inning off with an infield single, and then Jack Mathis was doubled up on a 6-4-3 twin killing. 1-1. Big hack and a miss by Davis. And now Pellegrini trying to reach as far down as he can to try and get that third out and keep the donut hole on the board.
You know, what I like to usually tell young players, Jack, when you have 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning, do not leave the decision in the hands of the home plate umpire. No offense there to the men in blue, but you have the bat in your hands. Use it or not.
Foul tip into the mid of Pierce as he's pumped up for his hurler, and Pellegrini, who gets the third and final out. The perfect game is gone, but the bases loaded jam does not result in any runs. Quakertown still in front 1-0 as we move into the bottom of the fourth right here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Here we go. Oh, I got it mixed up.
16 and 11. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what we got in right field.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. He's trotting that way.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like the pinch hitter's going to stay in and play.
Yep.
Troy Davis.
Troy
Davis. Yes, I know. Now. The computer doesn't play. The computer can be on. It can. Technology's great when it works.
Oh, that proves the best.
Yeah, that's why we have Ross here, because Ross is much better at troubleshooting than I am. I'm fine when everything goes smooth.
I'm here to talk. These guys are much younger than I, and I'm technologically challenged.
Hey, Roger, I'm here to just talk too. I'm here to just talk too. Yes.
No, Jack. I didn't want to hear to do it.
Huh? Oh, he's fun.
Let's go, Hunt.
You're not very good at movie references. Love that movie. One movie reference.
You say it on the air. Make sure you say.
Yeah, you're best to leave.
Careful.
I was thinking about saying good morning, Latrobe, but I decided not to do that.
Yeah, that's what's best to leave a lot of that.
Go, Hunter.
You have someone that's hearing impaired hearing.
Up now, too low.
I know you guys
Go, Hunter.
Yeah.
Leading off for Quakertown, number 11, Ethan Bile.
Back on WSN for the bottom of the fourth. Ethan Bile takes ball one after taking strike one. 1-0 Quakertown in front after Vinny Pellegrini worming his way out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the fourth.
Ease, he goes by, enjoys bodybuilding, Jack.
Yeah, that is a very hard extracurricular activity without a doubt. I mean, just the amount of hard work that bodybuilders put in. It's impressive. 2-2. Looks like that was ball three, or that might have hit him. Nonetheless, Bile is rewarded with first base. So for the HBP,
Now
here
batting
we go.
number 3, Ty Everett.
So now the fourth hit by pitch surrendered by Hunter Lowell.
Well, right now, Jack, we're coming to, he's out.
And a pickoff move by Lowell as he says, I might have hit you, Ethan Bile, but I'm now going to pick you off. And he does just that.
I hit you, I got you.
Bingo.
Now Ty Everett stepping to the plate. He struck by a pitch, came around to score in inning number 2. Say hello to his parents, Rob and Joanna. Seen a little bit of everything, Jack. Some hit by pitch, double play, pickoff.
Had a perfect game going.
Good baseball. Expect nothing less here in the state championships.
Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike on Ty Everett. He was one of the 4 that have been hit by pitches today by Hunter Lowell. He was hit by a pitch back in the second inning and now works a count in his favor. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1. And that hits him.
Wow.
So Everett is hit by a pitch after Bile was hit by a pitch and then picked off.
Everett, for the second straight plate
Now batting
appearance,
number 21,
struck by a pitch, not an official at bat.
Myers.
Not to mention he is the lone run that came around to score back in that bottom second inning for Quakertown.
Yeah, Peyton Myers.
One out, the bottom of the fourth. Another quick move by Lowell, but Everett slides back safely. For Quakertown, this is their third ever appearance in the state tournament. Big hack by Myers, swung through for strike 2. First state appearance for Quakertown was in 1985, and their previous state tournament appearance was in 2016. So it's been some years since the Blue Jays have been back.
Peyton Myers goes by PJ or Pate.
Trying to move Ty Everett over from first and further with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a held up check swing for strike 3. As Myers fooled by Lowell, and he sat down for the 2nd out of the bottom of the 4th. And sends now Caleb Everett to see if he can try and move his brother Ty over from first. I think on top of the great pitching, Roger, and the great defense, I mean, we really haven't seen many balls put in play, for that matter, especially over the last 2 innings.
And that's a credit to both pitchers.
Lowell Lowell's got a very quick move. Very quick move, is able to disengage off the rubber nice and fast. Off goes Ty Everett. Throw down to second is not in time. Cawley came over from short to cover, but Ty Everett moves into scoring position safely with 2 outs.
After his brother Caleb. Caleb had spinal surgery a year ago. Send out a shout out to some girl named Sam. Appears to be a favorite.
I wonder if Sam is joining us today.
I don't know.
Might be.
Hope she is.
Foul tipped as Everett stays alive in the count. Lowell looking for that 3rd and final out, despite him losing some control at times with 5 hit by pitch at bats. I mean, got to give him credit. He's still somehow able to get out of these sticky situations.
Well, the game only has 1 run and 1 hit to this point. Ooh.
Good miss by Lowell for ball 2.
Yeah, he was walking off the mound. He thought it was a pretty good pitch. I think it was just a bit off the plate. Good take by Everett.
Excuse me, check swing by Everett.
Well, Everett fooled a bit on that pitch, going to stay alive by just getting it fouled just a hair.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Caleb Everett. Hit in the air, Mihal, and he makes the catch.
It was a foul ball, caught for the final out.
So once again, base runner reaches, but is evaporated because of the great defense. 1-0, Quakertown still ahead as we move into the 5th inning right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
And the other one was 69?
That's right.
69?
69 Quakertown, 68.
Okay. All right. So those both could get 86.
Knee-hole loser! Jared
Folks, if you're getting hungry, the concession stand has hamburgers, hot dogs, other refreshments for your needs. Make sure you stop up and say hi to Tom in the concession stand. After what these guys were talking about, I'm hungry for some mango habanero. Ooh! Something sweet and spicy.
Sweet and hot, he said. Sweet and hot.
Hold on. Well, where do I go? Dino's?
Dino's 30, yeah.
Also go to Jiggers. Jiggers is great.
Nah, Dino's
Dino's is about, okay.
Sweet and hot wings.
Okay.
Very popular.
I like that.
Where everyone goes
I like
after
anything with
Steelers training
sauce.
camp.
Well, then obviously it's the happiest place.
Leading off the top half of the 5th inning, number 4, Aiden Mihal.
We'll throw you right out.
Back here on WSN for the 5th inning. 1-0 Quakertown still in front. Aiden Mihal gets the party started for Greater Pittston.
Aiden enjoys a fine dish of pasta And even though we have a number of teams from Eastern Pennsylvania being with us this week, Jack, the Pittsburgh Steelers come to nearby St. Vincent College on Wednesday.
That's right.
First practice is Thursday.
I'm glad that you bring up Steelers training camp, Roger, because that's one of the many things that Latrobe is known for. It's also the birthplace and childhood home of everyone's, I would like to think, children's TV personality Fred Rogers. That's a hard hit ball that sneaks into left field.
Solid single there off the bat of Mihal.
So Mihal reaches first on the leadoff single, and Roger, by my unofficial count, that is the first official, I guess outside of the infield single hit that we've had.
Yep.
First hit, I should say, that's
Number
reached the outfield.
21,
Yes.
Cameron Moser.
Nonetheless, it's the second straight inning that Greater Pittston gets the leadoff batter on base, and now Cameron Moser comes to the plate.
Cameron Moser, for some, tries to bunt. Cameron Moser's very proud that he can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 1 minute.
We're getting a pinch runner.
17.
Pinch running, number 17.
Casey Noon.
Casey Noon.
So he replaces Aiden Mihal over at first, now running for Mihal, who singled to lead the inning off. But as I was saying, lots of fun things about Latrobe. Obviously, Hall of Fame golfer Honor Palmer, also from Latrobe.
Yes.
Population of about 8,000 people in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, as of 2020. Again, Moser squares, but pulls it back wisely. He goes ahead of the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Squares, pulls it back again. 3 balls, no strikes on Moser, as Pellegrini again unraveling after he retired 9 straight going into the 4th, and he's struggling here to start the 5th.
Well, Jack, a lot of pitchers, when that batter squares to bunt, it throws off their timing, their rhythm, and their concentration just a hair.
That's exactly what happens. Ball 4 as Moser takes his bag, and Noon advances quickly up to second.
Now batting, number 3, Nick
Oh, and now we've got
Tercero.
Coach Bob Helm coming out to have a word with Vinny Pellegrini. And Roger, I wonder if we could see maybe a pitching change. We'll see what happens here. Pellegrini, again, had been stiller through 3 innings, but the last 2 have been an uphill battle for him.
Casey Noon attended Wyoming Area High School.
So Nick Cherisaro comes to the plate with runners at first and second, no outs. In the top of the 5th with Quakertown in front, 1-0 for the time being. Greater Pittston with other things on their mind, trying to change that here.
Well, so far, Pellegrini's been up to the challenge.
Good block by Pierce to make sure Noon does not take off for third. Roger, I think I'll share my Latrobe facts as we go on today.
With everyone, Jack.
Absolutely, with everybody. Want everyone to know all about Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Called strike.
Hey, make sure we're butting strikes. I know you wouldn't pull back on that. Let's go. Okay.
Go Nick! Go Nick! Go Nick! Go Nick! Go Nick! Go Nick! Get up!
0-1. Can't lay it down. The throw down to second is in time. Brandon Pierce with an absolute rocket to second. Tags up Noon. Great tag applied by Qualtiera. And it's 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Not to mention, it also takes away a runner being in scoring position.
Indeed it does, Jack. Cannot fall asleep on the base paths in championship baseball.
That goes 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nick Cherisaro. And Pellegrini has to be feeling a little bit better knowing that his defense is picking him up.
He's frustrated. Brandon Pierce has done a nice job in getting Pellegrini's attention, telling him to calm down.
Swinging a foul tip, but Pierce cannot hold on to it.
Yeah.
So second life here for Cherisara.
You know what? It is nice to be competitive and want to do well, but Pellegrini appears to be a type of kid that wears his emotions out there, and sometimes that can be interpreted a couple of different ways by an umpire.
Swing and a miss. Cherisaro sat down for the second out, and now that sends Jeremy Coley to the plate to try and keep this inning going after the first two batters got
Now
on base.
batting number 5, Jeremy Coley.
Coley on the season, a .367 batter. 22 for 60 from the plate.
Coley's a fan of Andrew McCutcheon. Well, right now, as far as Greater Pittston goes, they have squandered a number of opportunities in this one, Jack.
Called strike.
They left 3 runners on base in the 4th inning. They have had a runner on first and second, 1 picked off at second base.
0-1. Quakertown flips to Caleb Everett for the third and final out. So the 0 stays up for Greater Pittston as Vinny Pellegrini, after getting the first 2 batters on, he's able to retire the side. We move into the bottom of the 5th. The Blue Jays up 1-0. We'll see if they can extend that lead. And that also reminds us for our 5th inning stretch, brought to you by our friends at Independence Health, formerly known as Excella Health Expert Care. Here, we'll be back after this.
Mr. Ridenauer, can you hear me back here? Mr. Ridenauer, can you hear me back here? That is awesome, my friend. How you guys doing up there? I'm like back in the production booth back here. I don't know. Is that what you want to call it? Yes, I do, actually. I'm talking to Jack.
I'm so sorry.
Not talking back
I know.
to me.
Well, I told everyone we were going to break. Silly me.
I know.
That's why I'm not in charge. That's why you're in charge.
I threw you a curveball.
It's okay. I swung and missed. I was only a good fastball.
So we have some emails to get to.
Okay.
Folks listening. Our top viewer, we'll give it to him. Timmy Downs tuning in. That last name sounds familiar.
It does.
Looks like a great day at Rosa-Oglietti Park. Thanks, WSN, for your broadcast. Looking forward to more coverage and the football season. That is Mr. Roger Downs' son, Tim. Thanks, Tim. Want to say hi to Bonnie Miller. Pittston has a great bunch of young men, wishing them good luck today. Thank you very much, Bonnie. Let's see. Ron Musto. Let's see here. Head coach Steve Homza played for GP and at a D1 Central Connecticut State. First base coach Evan Musto played for GP and Division II Kutztown. His father is in the Legion Hall of Fame. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ron, for that. Kelly Smith cheering for Greater Pittston area from home, cheering for my son, right fielder number 18, Vinny Manomo. Way to go, Vinny. Thank you, Kelly. And we have one more email. Bob, shout out to Nick Saraceros. I don't know if I pronounced that right, Jack. Might help me out with that. His brothers, Devin, Christian, and Anthony, watching from home. Help me out, Jack. Nick, how do you pronounce his last name?
Cherisaro.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Quite all right. I've got 5
Thanks,
people
Paul.
talking to me, trying to give me defensive changes. All good. So, Roger, I believe Casey Noon is now in center field for Greater Pittston, if I'm not mistaken. If you have those defensive changes.
I have some of them. Noon, the pinch runner, is now in center. And the center fielder went to first base.
3-0 count on Braden Schuler. Takes ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk given to Schuler. The leadoff batter reaches base for Quakertown.
That's important in a
Now batting.
1-0 game.
Number 27, Tommy Kozleski.
Runs and hits few and far between in this one, Jack.
Beautiful bunt laid down, low wall, and the throw pulls Skutek off first, and it puts Kozlowski on first. Wow. So the air charge to Hunter Lowall as he can't believe it, and it puts runners at first and second with no outs for Quakertown.
Yeah, and the top of the order
Now
coming
batting,
up.
number 23, Danny Qualiteria.
Danny Qualteria comes to the plate.
And now, can the Blue Jays cash in on this opportunity with the first 2 base runners on here in the bottom of inning number 5?
Squares pulled back for ball 1.
I think it's a good decision there. Kind of take the pitch, show bunt, see what the defense alignment is going to be. Right on that offering, third baseman was holding his position, which means the pitcher has to come off to the third base side of the bag to field anything there.
Bunt flared out of play for strike 1.
First base charging hard in on the grass. Second base heading over to cover the first base bag.
1 ball, 1 strike on Qualteria. Kyle Skutek at first, coming up. Another pitch outside. Count goes in favor of Qualteria, 2 balls, 1 strike.
You know, it's a hitter's count right now. Do they keep the bunt sign on, or are they going to let him swing away? Qualteria has struck out and walked.
Fouls that back for strike 2, so if he's going to bunt, he has to lay this down with a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
To our younger listeners and maybe viewers, you've always been told you want to hit a good pitch. Same thing goes when you're told to bunt the ball. You want to bunt a good pitch as well.
2-2. Cherisaro makes the catch. The first out recorded.
The ball carried a little bit further than I thought it was going to, Jack.
And it looked like Cherisaro had a little bit of a tough time locating the fly
Next
ball.
up, number 8, Cole
Looks that
Wright.
Coach Steve Homza comes out to try and maybe settle down Hunter Lowall. No
Guys, we
pitching
want to
change is going to be made.
Sorry, Jack. We want to remind everybody, Roger was mentioning earlier that you can send us an email. Again, we heard from Bob, Kelly Smith, Ron Musto, Bonnie Miller, and Timmy Downs. Just click on the little image on the top right-hand corner of your screen. We're also streaming today to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel as well. So if you're watching on one of those 2 social media sites, you can send us an email at info@westmorelandsports.com. Tell us who you're rooting for, and we'll read your email on the air, or if you're in the Roger Downs fan club.
Okay, we heard from the entire membership now. It's my son, Tim.
Hey, you have 2 other sons, Roger.
I do.
Roger
Tony,
has a
Tony and
huge
Ben.
fan club that many people are one day going to find out. That squirts out of Moser's glove. Schuler heads to third. Kozlowski to second. And now runners in scoring position with 1 out for Quakertown.
And right now, Quakertown absolutely must cash in on this opportunity. The infield for Greater Pittston up on the grass.
1-0. Big hack by Reich for strike 1.
And yes, it is grass, ladies and gentlemen. All natural surface here at Rosa-Oglietti Park in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
1-1. Good spot for Lowall to hit to go ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It would be huge for Lowall to get a strikeout here, to get an out without a ball being put in play.
But it's Reich that stays alive.
And what I always like to say, when the infield comes up on the grass, you raise the batting average of the hitter in the batter's box about 100 points.
1-2. Big swing and miss. Reich sat down for the second out of the bottom of the 5th, and a much-needed out for Hunter Lowall.
Best possible scenario there
Next
for
up,
Lowall.
number 12, Brandon Pierce.
Records the out, does not get a ball in play. The infield has returned back to their normal defensive positions.
Brandon Pierce, the new batter. He's got a big chance here to extend Quakertown's lead to potentially 2-0, maybe even 3-0. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to Jack Mathis at second back in the first, and then popped up to Mathis in the third inning as well.
Fan of country music.
Batting .411 this season, 15 RBIs, looking for 16. Shoots that out of play.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Quakertown threatening, runners on second and third.
Lowell looking for this third and final out. Swing and a miss. He finds it. Hunter Lowell escapes a second and third jam and does not allow Quakertown any runs to come across. 1-0, the Blue Jays still lead as we move into the sixth. We'll see if Greater Pittston can finally get on the board right here on Westmoreland Sports Network.
Mathis, the wall, go pass.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Huh? Is yours 4? Oh, yeah. I saw Sean's text, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to. Hey, Ross.
I know. No, I told him. I said, you know when I was talking to him, he's like, what's the deal with Parker?
They're 9, 10,
Yeah.
12, 13.
Yeah.
Well, they won't let me. I tried Parker.
This is
They won't
tough.
let me.
I'm just saying, if they do. This is like last week.
This is a good ball.
It is.
Very good ball.
He's at 81 war.
I mean, that's right.
That's correct.
Unless they want to ask us.
They can step out and ask. You did let them know that, right? Okay.
Yeah, I told them they can ask every inning.
Yeah,
Did you say Pellegrini's at 84?
that's correct.
And their pitcher is right around there too.
86.
So they still both have a chance to go to the
Ladies and gentlemen, you can watch today's game and all games in the Legion tournament here at Rosa-Oglietti Park on the Westmoreland Sports Network by going to www.westmorelandsports.com. That's westmorelandsports.com for coverage of the entire tournament.
Leading off for...
We've played 5, Roger, and we move into the sixth.
Oh, what a great ball game we
Leading off
have
for
here,
Pittston,
Jack.
number
Wonderful ball
8,
game.
Jack
1-0, Quakertown
Mathis.
leads.
I want to send a shout out to our public address announcer today, Stu Albaugh, as always, doing a great job.
That is hit hard off the bat of Reich. Back to center, and it's caught. No.
He dropped it?
No, he did catch it.
I thought the ball...
Kozlowski's got it.
He caught
He made
it.
the catch.
Wow.
What a catch by Kozlowski out in center field. A long first out, but Quakertown, they'll take it.
Yeah, I saw what looked like a puff of smoke or some stones moving out on the warning track. I thought the ball had popped out of his
Now
glove.
batting,
It did
number
not.
20,
That could be the
Hunter
defensive
Lowell.
play of the game, Jack. Definitely saving extra bases on that one.
A great catch by Kozlowski. Also saved some pitches as Pellegrini has passed the 80 pitch mark. Came into the inning with 84 pitches.
That by far the hardest hit ball this morning in today's game.
Count evens on Hunter Lowell.
It's always interesting to see the dynamics and the thought process, particularly what happens when a relief pitcher enters the game.
1-1. Pellegrini goes ahead in the count. Roger, we were really treated with 3 perfect innings of pitching by Vinny Pellegrini through the first 3 frames.
He's done a good job with runners on base. But a credit to all the young men batting today, Jack. They have been very, very patient and have worked both pitchers extremely well.
2-2. Off home plate. Polteria off the hop. Gets the out at first. What a nice glove over at short for Danny Qualteria, and it's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Kyle Skutek comes to the plate to try and
Now
avoid the
batting
1-2-3
number
inning.
1, Kyle Skutek.
Skutek is a fan of rap music. He'd get along well with our producer today, Dan.
Yeah, I think so. Big hack by Skutek as he falls down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Roger, I think it's a very dangerous thing that now Dan's got access to just jump on air whenever.
You know what? He is the owner, operator, president, founder.
Yep.
He can do whatever
I got
he
the
wants.
power, baby.
Skutek doesn't have the power there, but it's Pellegrini with the power pitching. A 1-2-3 inning for the righty as we move into the bottom of the 6th to see if Quakertown can extend their 1-0 lead right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Got a couple more emails to get to while we have an opportunity. I want to say hello to Sarah Markert. Good luck to the boys and coaches of GPA. That is Greater Pittston.
93.
Also want to say hello to Lynn Chintala. Let's go, Coach Steve Holmza and Greater Pittston, watching from Sarasota, Florida.
Wow, I wonder what the weather is like in Florida.
Ladies and
I was going to say,
gentlemen,
Roger,
first
usually we
on
say
time,
that
and I
because
can
it's a lot
tell you
warmer in
that the
Florida, but I'll
hamburgers
tell you
and hot
what,
dogs here
we have some good
at
weather
our
this week, some
concession
hot weather this
stand are
week.
the
Yeah,
best.
we have
Baseball,
hot weather, and we
hamburgers
also
and hot
have a
dogs in
very,
the
very
row.
good
So
baseball
stop up to
game
the
in front of us.
concession stand
And for our
and get a
viewers,
nice light lunch
both in
today.
attendance and on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Hey guys, we want to thank Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths in the Latrobe Route 30 Plaza for being our presenting sponsor all week long of our broadcast. Don't forget, we will have every game here live on the Westmoreland Sports Network where you can watch some exciting baseball. The next game, hopefully, we'll be able to get our center field camera rolling. As Roger always says, technology is only good if it works, right?
Indeed.
So hopefully we'll be able to do that for everybody for game number 2.
Well,
What a baseball game this has been, Jack.
Yeah, we've got a great
Leading
game
off
one
the
here.
bottom half of the
The
sixth
bar has
inning,
been set awfully high.
Number 11, Ethan Bile.
There's action in the bullpen for Quakertown, and again, we mentioned Vinny Pellegrini came into that 6th inning with 84 pitches under his belt.
That looks like Caleb Everett, number 44, warming up.
And I believe Pellegrini exited that last half inning with 93 pitches as Ethan Bile hacks through the first pitch for strike 1. So let's just face it, Roger, I think both of these teams are going to have to go to their bullpen sooner rather than later.
And it's obvious, Jack, and I said this earlier in our broadcast, there's a reason why Greater Pittston and Quakertown aren't here in Latrobe this week.
Yeah, Greater Pittston, 16-4 overall record. For Quakertown, a 20-5 overall record.
So Hunter Lowell insists on attacking the inside part of the plate. Sometimes he can be his own worst enemy with those number of hit by pitches.
Almost had one there, but a free pass issued nonetheless and a walk to Ethan Bile. So another leadoff batter getting on base for Quakertown, and that's something they've done a fairly solid job of, Roger, but it just hasn't really mustered up into anything. They haven't been able to convert, but we'll see if Ty Everett can try and keep things going off the leadoff walk.
Well, we will see. We'll send out a shout out to one of Ty's very special friends, Bella. Hopefully she's listening today or tuning in.
Pulled foul.
Jack, by my count, and certainly my stats are unofficial, I have Quakertown with 1 run and no hits on the day.
From what I can tell, again, also unofficially scoring this game, that's the same thing I have.
All right.
It's good that we're all on the same page here, Roger.
2 balls, 1 strike. Another pitch on the inside part of the plate just missing.
And to your point, Roger, it's really been something that has hindered him at times off the amount of hit by pitches that he has surrendered, and now he's in jeopardy of surrendering back-to-back walks in a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Ty Everett.
He's already got the leadoff batter on. Peyton Myers, the scheduled hitter, on deck.
Ball 4. Back-to-back free passes puts runners at first and second for Peyton Myers.
No one in the bullpen for Greater Pittston at this moment, and that's always tough on a position player. If you are being called into the game, you get a few warm-up pitches, and that's about it. Conversely, Quakertown had Ty Everett down in the bullpen throwing, getting a little bit, or Caleb Everett, excuse me, throwing. A little bit of a timeout here.
Now batting, number 21, Peyton
So
Myers.
Lowell up to 96 pitches. So if he can't escape this inning, then Quakertown will without a doubt see the relief pitching of Greater Pittston. But we'll see if Lowell can squirm his way out of trouble with runners at first and second, no outs.
Peyton Myers, a fan of Bryce Harper.
0 for 1 on the day is Myers. He's hit by a pitch back in the second and struck out in the 4th. Squares.
Good bunt.
Cincetti down the third base line, throws to first, and it's in time, but the bunt does its job. Bile to third, Everett to second, and just 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, nicely done there by Peyton Myers. That's team baseball, Jack. There are outs and there are productive outs, and that, my friend, was indeed a productive out.
Now batting,
As you would say, Roger, I'm going to take one right out of your own book. Everybody did their job.
Indeed,
Caleb
they did.
Everett.
Caleb Everett comes to the plate. Just 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. That shot out
That's
towards
a base
right
hit.
center, and it lands. Bile comes in to score. Here comes Ty Everett. The throw not in time as it's cut off by Kyle Skutek, and Quakertown extends their lead to 3-0 off the bat of Caleb Everett.
First hit of the game, huge. 2 RBIs off the bat of Caleb Everett, and his favorite athlete, Ellie
Now batting,
Dela
number
Cruz,
1,
would be very
Braden
happy with that
Short.
effort.
Without a doubt, and now Braden Schuler tasked with following that up. That pitch right there for you at home was the 100th thrown by Hunter Lowell, so just 5 more pitches, and he reaches his max.
Braden Schuler, fan of Jalen Hurts. Runner goes.
Off goes Caleb Everett. The throw by Moser way offline, and an easy swiped bag for Caleb Everett as he motors into scoring position.
Well, Lowell has flirted with danger all morning, Jack. And he's been able to get out of it, but now here in the bottom of the 6th inning, not so much.
We continue to see him try and attack righties on that inside corner and comes awfully close to hitting them.
Yeah, just not a lot of success there.
That bounces foul.
But I like the effort from the previous batter. Caleb Everett did not try to do too much with that pitch. Lofted a soft single to right center field. Just did his job, as did Peyton Myers on the sacrifice.
2-2. And the check swing is called a strike. He did go around. So that's the 3rd strike on Schuler, and he sat down for the 2nd out.
He's 104. He can pitch one more batter.
And that was pitch number 104 for Hunter Lowell.
Now
So
batting,
he
number
can
27.
go up against Tommy
Tommy
Kozlowski,
Kozlowski.
but this will be his last batter he faces. So can he get out of the inning, or does the inning continue?
Well, he gets 105 pitches. He can finish this batter. Send a shout out to Nick Kozlowski.
Count evens on Kozlowski. Caleb Everett standing at second as he represents the potential fourth run of the game for Quakertown. He takes off, a swing and a miss, throw down to third, and it skips out of the glove of Cincetti. Caleb Everett darts home as it trickled into left field, and it's 4-0 Quakertown.
Yeah, that's an error. You go with stolen base and an error. Okay.
So Caleb Everett credited with a stolen base
Who'd
and
you
a
give
run
the
scored.
Error to, Ross. Error on the catcher, E2. Now, Jack, I like the aggressiveness both ways by both the base runner Everett and the catcher of Greater Pittston, Cameron Moser. But sometimes you just need to make the smart play as well. And not discrediting the effort, but sometimes with the runner on third, if you uncork a wild throw, you're giving the opposition a free run. And that's what happened. Even though Moser, to his credit, did throw a runner out earlier.
Swing and a miss, drop third strike. Moser makes the throw to first for the third and final out. But 3 runs come across for Quakertown in the inning alone as we move into the 7th inning. Can Quakertown get just 3 more outs to take game 1? We'll be back on WSN after this.
Davis, move!
Guys, I have a few more emails to get to. Want to say hello to Lynn Chintala. To answer the broadcaster's question about the weather, real field temps have been 101 to 107 since June. Getting old, heading your way soon.
Thank you so much.
So I believe that's warmer than Latrobe, Pennsylvania, I'm guessing?
Yeah, a little bit. John White. Guys, wishing all the state tournament teams good luck, hoping they all enjoy the experience. Wish we were there to defend our 22 title. You guys are doing a great job on the broadcast. I look forward to listening all week. Great for Legion Baseball. Thanks for what you do. Thanks, John White, manager of the Phillipsburg Phils, 2022 PA State Champions. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. I know that you guys had a nice run in the regional this year, the Region 7 tournament, so congratulations on your season and, of course, last season as well.
Number 7, Anthony Cincetti.
So just 3 more outs for Quakertown to record, and they take game 1. But for Greater Pittston, backs against the wall a little bit, Roger, so maybe we see them try and pull out all stops to keep this ball game going.
Yeah, Cincetti's favorite athlete is David Ortiz. Right now his team could use either a David Ortiz blast or at least a single to get on base to try to extend everything and maybe work on the pitch count of Pellegrini.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Cincetti.
Pellegrini's been good, though, Jack. Few raindrops he's worked his way through.
1-2. Shot over into right, and it sneaks past Caleb Everett at second. Just a nice lunging single for Anthony Cincetti to get the party started in the top of the 7th, and now that sends Troy Davis to the plate.
Troy.
Yeah, pitch on the outside part of the plate. He went with it, did not try to pull it. You as a right-handed batter, you attempt to pull that pitch, you'll pop up to the third baseman. Troy Davis.
Davis 0 for 2 on the day. Shoots that out of play. Quakertown up 4-0. They would love to put a bow on this one to wrap up game 1 with a game 1 victory of the state tournament. 0-1.
Right now, the base runner, hate to put a downer on Anthony Cincetti. He doesn't matter. He's only 1 run.
Davis is fighting up here, up at the dish.
We know what? No surprise there. Both of these teams well coached, well schooled. The score is 4-0, 3 hits to 1, only 1 error in the contest. Just a good baseball game, Jack.
Without a doubt. I'm sure it'll be a great finish. However it finishes, that is lined hard and out of play, but into the stands as some fans had to cowered away.
Well, you know what, Jack? That's a good point to bring up right now. Baseball fans, if you are at a live game, I don't care what the level is, put your phones away, pay attention, watch the game, stay safe.
1-2, swing and a miss by Davis.
Base first is occupied.
Davis just a little antsy running down first. Nonetheless, he sat down for the first out. And now Aiden Mihal, Casey Noon comes to the plate as he entered in late for Aiden Mihal. Make sure you stick around for some more coverage of the state tournament on WSN. We'll have coverage of Game 2 coming up after this one. That's lifted high out to right. Reich heading into foul territory. The catch made on the run. Great catch by Cole Reich all the way into foul territory, and it's 2 outs now in the top of the 7th.
Wright has played a very good defensive game there in right field. 2 big plays in the first inning to start this contest.
Number 21, Cameron Moser.
Cameron Moser comes to the plate, trying to extend this ball game with 2 outs in the top of the 7th.
Good pitch right there, right down the heart of the plate. Good velocity. If he can get Mosier out, this will end the game, and it'll be the pitch count for Pellegrini.
Shot to center, Kozlowski, and that's your ball game. Quakertown taking Game 1 in the Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball State Tournament by a final 4-0 over Greater Pittston. And Roger, I have to say, we mentioned it all throughout the ball game. Great defense, but more importantly, great pitching, and not to mention really good pitching out of jams by both pitchers.
Yeah, like I said, Jack, there's always going to be a little bit of, lament. We missed some chances. Would Greater Pittston be saying right now? Quakertown making the most of their couple of chances. But you know what? For the winning team, Quakertown, enjoy this for the moment. You got to play again tomorrow. And as for Pittston area, don't lament the loss too long. You got to recover and come back and play again tomorrow as well.
They definitely do, and like we mentioned, really they have to play basically all week long, and not to mention they've also made a long journey here, so they want to make their mark be felt before they go back home.
Indeed, they do. They want to put on a good showing, and both teams in today's game have done that. Just a very, very well-played game. Unfortunately, somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. But I'll tell you what, Jack, if WSN and the viewers of the Pennsylvania State American Legion Baseball Tournament, if the rest of the games can be like this one, all will be entertained and sitting on the edge of their seats.
Well, you at home, don't go anywhere, because we'll be joined by Game 1 winning pitcher Vinny Pellegrini. This will join us for a post-game interview. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, post-game festivities right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Did somebody get him? Okay.
Yeah, exit there, PTO! No, left!
Yes. That would be me. I had it for 105. Which your guy or their guy? Their guy. 105. Okay. There you go. There's your last pitch was 105. Yep. Thank you.
Close to your mouth.
Okay. Do you want him to wear headsets? Oh, yeah. Well,
Make sure.
oh, you already did. Thank you. Did you print for you? Yeah, great game, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, you want me to move these chairs over?
Yeah, that's right. So I'll go get the teams.
Okay.
And everything looks
Right here,
good on
Dan?
there.
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter. Get closer. First of all, we were right. And
They're not going to smell me.
Oh, it's quite all right, man. It's all right, dude. It's baseball season. Good luck.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
before the batter?
Good? All right.
Joined by Game 1 winning pitcher Vinny Pellegrini of Quakertown. First off, my friend, congratulations on the win. I have to say, you're probably exhausted after going the distance. How does it feel getting that Game 1 win?
It feels great. I mean, I don't know how this tournament all works. I'm not really familiar with it, but I know that all that matters is we won Game 1 and we play another day. So I did my job and the team did its job. So that's all we can ask for.
Well, I know that heading into this week, I'm sure there was obviously a lot on the line with it being the state tournament, but you guys have to travel quite a bit of a way, and then you get up bright and early for Game 1. So how do you guys kind of manage that, and what was kind of the mindset coming into today with just so much tight window to really operate in?
I mean, our mindset coming into the game was just kind of do our job, stick to what we know, stick to what we can do best, and everything. I mean, the traveling, that sucked. I mean, drove a nice 4 hours and did our job here today. And the early game, I love early games. Now we get to go do whatever we want. Like, me and some of the guys are going golfing now, so.
That's awesome. Where are you guys going golfing?
It's like right down the street. It's like 2 or 3 minutes away, so.
Perfect, man. That's great. That's great. Well, obviously golf is on your mind, baseball's on your mind, and summertime, of course, is always a fun time as well. But you had some great defense behind you that I'm sure was on your mind throughout the whole game.
God.
How does that feel for you when not only you're in a groove, but then you look behind you and everybody else behind you's in a groove too?
It's great. I mean, it's a great atmosphere that we have going. It's especially when it's winning, when we're on, when we're down, we're all together. Especially Thomas Kozlowski making an amazing catch at the fence. Oh, that just fired me up. So it's amazing seeing our team do good.
Well, we also saw that you were perfect through 3 innings. Did you know that? Were you aware of that?
No, I was not aware of that.
Well, that's news to you now, my friend. You were up and down through 3 innings. I mean, when you're in that type of rhythm, what's on your mind, or is there anything on your mind at that point?
I'm just trying to do my job and be out here to succeed, and I guess that's what I was doing through 3.
Yeah, man, you were in a rhythm without a question. Before we let you run, just want to hear, what is it going to take for your Quakertown team to keep this going and build off this Game 1 win?
Just get our bats, keep getting our bats going, keep getting hot, and just have fun.
Well, Vinny, congratulations, and go enjoy the golf course, my friend. Hit them long, hard, and straight.
I don't know about straight, but thank you.
Absolutely. Vinny Pellegrini, winning pitcher of Quakertown after taking down Greater Pittston by a final 4-0 in Game 1 of the Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball State Tournament. Folks, don't go anywhere, as we'll have coverage for you coming up in a little bit, a little after 1 o'clock or so, for Paxton against Beech Creek for Game 2 of the state tournament. So don't go too far. Stretch those legs, maybe get a little bit of fresh air. But make sure you join us coming up at 1 o'clock for more action right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.